Oh, I don't even have my chat open. Sorry, guys. Hey, Joan. I don't even have my chat open, but I'm like, where is everybody? And I don't have my chat open. Hello, Joan. It's you. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Josh. BH Kasim. Welcome. Welcome, Corey Hines. Welcome, Win the Day. Geyser. Hey. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, welcome. Oh. New house, real busy? Nice. Gideon, though? How's the hate? I'm happy it's getting a chance to come back, Corey. Yeah, me too. Me too, me too, me too, me too. Me too. I don't know. People... I mean, I haven't released a video yet, but people seem pretty... Yeah. Seem pretty... Nope. People acknowledged the good points I was making, but... Anything you're super excited about that you changed? Revenant is exciting. Wraith is exciting. A lot of things. I don't know. So Odyssey, how close are we to Alpha Man? I don't even know. I can't even say. Paragon 2 coming to PS4 being developed for PC first, but there's full intentions on getting onto PS4. Fully intend to... We're gonna try our hardest. We want it on PS4. We want it on PS4. Okay, so... Revenant is still in the game. Hey, my idea with them gonna be fun. Reynos are going back to old system. Something more similar to the old system, yeah. Way more like Legacy than else. Linux Network, welcome. My life is empty without Paragon. Yeah, me too. Okay, so do I want to talk about...
A new Sylphin Knight has joined the round table.
Win the Day. Thank you for the sub. Huge hype in chats. Huge hype. Thank you so much for the sub, man. Welcome, welcome. Who's backing this financially? Nobody right now. Reynos. Is Epic rescinded all rights? There's no known legal issues as of now. We've talked with Epic. Yeah. No known issues at this time. Okay, so, do Do you have mods like 2 lines and stuff? What do you mean, Destiny Gamer? What do you mean? Hmm. I'm trying to think of how we can talk about stuff. So let's see here. Instead of Raptors Prime mode, just general objectives discussion, things to do other than just pushing. All right. Okay, so what about map objectives and Dennis George? How's it going today? It's been an interesting day already. Okay, so let's see. So, we're gonna go Paragon 2. Map. And mechanics. Okay. I'm so ready for your hype stream when an announcement is made. Here's the storms in the description. No, shouldn't be. What the fuck? What did it save? Boo! It did save. There we go. I changed it. Alright. Intent. Aras, what do you think about advertising? Will definitely be a thing for sure. At this moment, it's just transparency with, intent. Describe. To describe. Okay, so let's see. What's the point of map? What's the point behind map objectives and mechanics? Okay. The following will be described in this document. Towers. Towers. We have lane minions. Jungle minions. Jungle objectives. Map objectives. There's a difference. Hey, do they have any input on the full match of Oath or Paragon that was posted? Do you think the students falling behind Rockmania? I've seen, I think I saw Devori stuff like that. I don't know. It looks really good, really impressive for one person. I think on these games falling behind Rockmania, there's a lot that you don't see. Currency acquisition. So, for example, Paragon began development in 2013. It was announced, well, it was started as a project in 2013. In 2015, it was announced. It took 2 years for AAA game company to create with the concept and the art and the theme and all that kind of stuff. I mean, and then a little over a year later, no, April, half a year later, early access began. So, like, it takes a long ass time, and there's a lot that nobody ever saw about Paragon's development, right? And it's the same thing here. So towers. Towers. Towers provide Towers are a map siege objective that hinders a player in accessing and destroying their enemy's core, while providing them Towers are a map siege objective that hinders a player in accessing and destroying their enemy's core. I mean, that's what a that's pretty much about it. Duck on Quack, welcome. More game modes. Siege objectives include layers of towers placed within lanes that protect a final core. Okay, so design. Design. One. Let's see, is this better? Or do you guys want the footage? Targeting enemy units within range of influence. Siege objectives are defined by multiple parameters and mechanics. Defensive capabilities. Siege objectives can defend themselves by targeting enemy units within the range of influence. Damage. Moderate damage output that ramps up over successive attacks against the same unit. This increases as should tower damage just be a percentage of health? No. Tower damage is never a percentage of health in any iteration. requires a moderate level of commitment. It's sphere. Sphere. Whoa, I'm having a brain. I'm having a complete brain fart. Sphere? Oh my god. Whew. Armor is significantly increased without enemy lane minions within its sphere of influence in order to require Hello, Nate! Welcome. In order to require rely upon There we go. Health and armor. Moderate health and damage mitigation that requires a moderate level of commitment to eliminate entirely. Armor is significantly increased without enemy lane minions within its sphere of influence in order to rely upon the core gameplay element. The MOBA core. There we go. Let's see. Range. Siege objectives. I don't know, what am I doing? What am I doing? This isn't really what I want. This really isn't what I want to be doing, but... This isn't really what I want to be doing. Alright. Let's just cut right to the chase. Cut right to the chase. Cut right to the chase. Towers! Let's cut right to the chase. Towers! One. Are not necessarily safe zones, but can aid, but will help. Hold on, guys. My wife is... I took her to the ER this morning because she really wasn't feeling well. But now they're admitting her to hospital. I'm like, what? Hold on. Okay, well. My wife is really not doing very well in this pregnancy, so it's a little hard. It's been tough. Do I need to go? No, she doesn't. She's tired and no, I don't. She doesn't need anything. She's fine. Oddly enough, we're at the, unfortunately, kind of at the hospital slash dealing with sick people a lot. So, no, she said no. To your wife, thanks, Nuke. I appreciate that. I do. I do. Towers are not necessarily safe zones, but will help with repelling enemies. No hard feelings if you have to leave. Oh, yeah. I might have to leave anyways, because we have somebody coming to repair a dishwasher. So, I mean, I'm not sure if I'll have to leave, but we'll see. Are a moderate objective for enemies to destroy, requiring minions and fairly significant towers are moderate objective for enemies to destroy, requiring minions and a fairly significant investment. Investment in damage and output. Towers gain significant damage mitigation without... Towers gain significant damage mitigation without enemy minions inside its radius. Requiring enemies to towers gain significant damage mitigation, requiring enemies to appropriately push lanes and have positive lane control. Tower radius is 10 to 20% larger. Tower's radius is larger than ranged basic attack range, requiring ranged heroes to tower damage. Tower radius is larger than ranged basic attack range. So much as to require. So much so as to. What? So much as to require ranged heroes to take tower damage in order to attack the tower if tower aggression. Are designed and balanced not necessarily as safe zones, but as map objectives that will help with repelling. But as map siege objectives that will help with repelling enemies. Are moderate objectives for enemies to destroy, requiring minions and a fairly significant investment in damage output. Towers gain significant damage mitigation without enemy minions inside its radius, requiring enemies to appropriately push lanes and have positive lane control. Abilities damage towers? No. Tower radius is larger than ranged basic attack range, so much so as to require ranged heroes to take tower damage in order to attack the tower if drawing tower aggression. Towers deal damage through locked on homing projectiles. On the tower firing. Towers deal damage through locked-on homing projectiles that have a short charge duration. Once a tower is locked onto a target and charging, the projectile will fire and damage the unit, regardless of the target's final position upon the tower firing. So if you tip your toe in and the tower locks onto you, you're taking that damage, whether you blink away or whatever. Tower projectiles. Can tower projectiles be body blocked? Should they? Let me see. Tower projectiles, should they be body blocked? So what's the point of body blocking? Body blocking is to absorb. It's a skill. It's a tactic. It's a skill. It's a tactic. So what... If you don't have it, if towers are not body blocked, if it's blockable, then it may not attack its intended target. However, if you intend the target to be so like if your carry is getting attacked by the tower, then your support or a tank can body block the projectiles. However, that is taking them out. Like, that means that they can't do anything else. So you're trading an ally's influence within the tower radius for body blocking the projectile of your carry. If you were smart, you would have let the tank take the aggro first, so that the projectile went on them first anyways, and they could. Body blocking tower shots could turn trolls so fast. I'm not really concerned about that aspect of things. The pros. What would they appreciate it? Or would it just get messy? Although messy might be a... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Are designed and balanced to not necessarily be safe zones, but rather as map siege objectives that will help with repelling enemies. Towers are a moderate objective. We'll see you another stream. Thanks, Nuke. Appreciate that. Okay. Towers are designed and balanced to not necessarily be safe zones, but rather as map siege objectives that will help with repelling enemies. Pop Tarts, are you working on remaking Paragon? Yeah. I'm a community director with Unleash Games. Towers are a moderate objective for enemies to destroy, requiring minions and a fairly significant investment in damage output. Towers gain significant Towers are a moderate objective for enemies to destroy, requiring minions and a fairly significant investment in damage output. Inhibitors are slightly more significant in severity than towers. Towers gain significant damage mitigation without enemy minions inside its radius, requiring enemies to appropriately push lanes and have positive lane control. Tower's radius is larger than ranged basic attack range, so much so as to require ranged heroes to take tower damage in order to attack the tower if drawing tower aggression. Towers deal damage through locked-on homing projectiles that have a short charge duration. Once a tower is locked on to a target and charging, the projectile will fire and damage the unit, regardless of that target's final position upon the tower firing. Tower projectiles cannot be body blocked, but can be blocked through abilities. Towers prioritize enemy heroes if they deal damage to allied heroes while inside its radius, but will otherwise prioritize the closest enemy unit. Towers prioritize enemy heroes if they deal damage to allied heroes while inside its radius, but will otherwise prioritize the closest enemy unit. Midnight Shadow? Good luck. Thanks. There we go. Towers. Towers are designed and balanced to not necessarily be safe zones, but rather as map siege objectives that will help with propelling enemies and lane minions. Towers are designed and balanced not necessarily be safe zones, but rather as map siege objectives that will help with repelling enemies and enemy lane minions from advancing down the lane to the core. Simple as that. Towers are a moderate objective for enemies to destroy, requiring minions and a fairly significant investment in damage output. Inhibitors are slightly more significant in severity than towers. Towers gain significant damage mitigation without enemy minions inside its radius, requiring enemies to appropriately push lanes and have positive lane control. Sam Foster! Towers gain significant damage mitigation. Yeah, but I already said that. Tower radius is larger than ranged basic attack range, so much so as to require ranged heroes to take tower damage in order to attack the tower if drawing tower aggression. Towers are invulnerable to ability damage. Towers deal damage through locked-on homing projectiles that have a short charge duration. Once a tower is locked on to a target and charging, the projectile will fire and damage the unit regardless of that target's final position upon the tower firing. Tower projectiles cannot be body blocked, but can be blocked through abilities. Towers prioritize enemy heroes if they deal damage to allied heroes while inside its radius, but will otherwise prioritize the closest enemy unit within its radius. Towers will not respawn upon being destroyed, but inhibitors will respawn after a duration. This duration appropriately allows an enemy team to utilize This duration appropriately allows an enemy team to utilize the positive lane pressure created through super minions and through spawned super minions in the respective lane of the to utilize blah in order to this duration is such that it appropriately allows an enemy team to utilize the positive lane pressure created through spawned super minions in the respective lane enabling a window to better attack and destroy the enemy's core. Nice tan, Sylphin. I had to change. I just noticed that the green screen wasn't really working right around here, so I changed the exposure, and now I'm like, I don't know. I think it looks okay. Does it look okay? Kind of. The black is like totally just blown out. It's hard, man. Wearing certain colors is tricky. Oh yeah, just completely washed out. No, I guess that's actually pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty good. Yeah, okay. There we go. it's a bit hard. That's alright. This is color correction. Well, it's... The more I understand... See, now I look like way too bright. But anyways, well, I'll keep it at that. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Towers will not respawn upon being destroyed, while inhibitors will respawn after a certain duration. This duration is such that it appropriately allows an enemy team enough time to utilize the positive lane pressure created through spawn super minions in a respective lane, enabling a window of attack to better damage and destroy the enemy's core. What happened to all your yellow shirts? They're here. See, it's like so blown out, but why not just bring back the dunk? I have an idea for the dunk. I have an idea. I have an idea for the dunk. Essentially, I don't actually think that the dunk makes sense on a 5v5 map. I actually don't think that the dunk makes that much sense on such a big map with so many people. There's already a lot of stuff going on, and can go on. But a 4v4 map, maybe a 3v3 map game mode, that is a wonderful place for a dunk mechanic. On a smaller map with less people, potentially less sort of things to do, kind of little bit less possibility and complexity. That is where I think some kind of a dunk mechanic would thrive. Absolutely thrive. Three v 3 one lane with Orb Prime dunk. Ooh, baby. 4v4. 4v4 in a 2-lane map. Duo lane, solo lane, and one jungler. Ooh, baby. Woohoo! I would love a dunk mechanic. Dunk mechanic in a 2-lane 4v4 map. 1-lane 3v3 map. Ooh. Ew, I would love that. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I would love a mechanic like that. There. I think I've said all that needs to be said about towers. Towers are designed to balance not necessarily be safe zones, but rather as mapped siege objectives that will help with repelling enemies and lane minions from advancing down the lane to the core. The map is an arena designed for players. Hold on. I'll be right back. you guys can watch this Gideon rework. Gideon is an amazing hero, connected to Paragon in a lot of ways. And lore-wise, he's very connected to a lot of people and a lot of the core themes of what's going on behind Paragon, at least the old Paragon. But also, he was the Wombo Combo guy. And while he was reworked a couple times in Monolith, I've reworked him once again. And you're either going to love this or absolutely hate it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Hero Rework video. I am Sylphin. So, a few things right off the bat. One, this does not represent what Unleashed Games is going to do at all. At all. It is simply my idea and my idea alone. So, yes, I'm going to send this off internally, but this is just my idea. Two, hero passives are coming back. So I want to make those passives for heroes and make it accentuate their core gameplay. Accentuate their core gameplay. What is the reason to pick the hero? And how do you bring that out through their passive? Three, I like the idea of quest mechanics, or kind of what I'm maybe thinking of calling them sort of like Paragon mechanics, where if you do something that defines the hero's role and purpose well, then over time it becomes empowered, enabling you to be even more effective at the reason why you picked that hero in the first place. So that is part of a hero's kit, as you'll see here. And four, heroes, in my opinion, have to be designed around a core gameplay niche theme. There has to be a core purpose as to why you say, aha, I need Gideon in this scenario because he does something extremely well and is maybe not weak against something else. So, what is his niche and theme? You're going to either love this or hate this, ladies and gentlemen. I think Gideon should be a burst high damage mage. Mage meaning lots of damage, low mobility, low utility, even though he does have some utility, as you'll see. I think he should be that. Not a long range caster, not anything else, just a burst medium range-ish high damage mage, where he does a lot of damage and that's it. There's a lore connection. There's a lore connection to this. He is, I can't say, but he's very powerful and he's connected inherently to the thing that's stuff on Agora stuff. He's the man. He's the guy. He's Gideon. Okay? So he deals damage. He is the cosmic power. Okay? Summons a freaking black hole, man. You don't poke people from afar and then summon a freaking black hole. He's a damage dealer and he's supposed to nuke people down. So, I've run with that theme, and there's a few things that happen when you run with that theme. If you deal insane amounts of damage with some utility, you cannot have high mobility. And yes, Gideon's teleport was a huge part of his kit and identity. I've somewhat removed it. You cannot deal an insane amount of damage, especially from afar, and have insane mobility. You cannot. That is broken inherently. You cannot. So I'm sorry if this offends you. This is just my idea, and you can say I'm an idiot, and I won't care. So, his passive. Gideon levitates off the ground with void energy, gaining 10% increased movement speed when out of combat. This ramps up over 2 seconds, so you don't just gain instant 10% movement speed when you're trying to escape or whatever. Why this passive? Because if he's a burst mage that's kind of medium-ish range, you're gonna want to get in, do your damage, and then kind of get out. So he needs something to kind of get in a little bit and get out. And that is what this is. So he can gain some movement speed, dodge some attacks when outside of combat, get in, and do that. Does this make him a great ganker and movement speed across the map? Yes. So awesome. That's awesome. He's Gideon. He's Gideon. He deals lots of damage, and he's crazy. There you go. When entering combat, though, Gideon gains 8, 12, 6. He gains ability penetration for 6 seconds. So you're incentivized to get in, deal your tons of damage because you're the monster that Gideon is, and then go back. Pick your engagements, deal your damage, and get out. That is a mage. Deals damage. Increase movement speed to get in and out and traverse the map. Be useful. And gain ability pen when you enter combat. That can only happen every 40 seconds. Or 30 or whatever that has to be. There you go. So, Cosmic Rift. It's the same thing except it's what it used to be. Gideon opens a rift into space, summoning meteors that you've been seeing in this video that strike the target location, dealing damage over 3 seconds, just like that. If Void Tether is connected to an enemy, yes, I'm bringing back his burden, but I'm calling it Void Tether, all damage is dealt instantly. So, if you are able to Void Tether somebody, that's a skill shot, and Cosmic Rift on top of them, it deals the damage instantly. A big meteor comes down and deals damage. After dealing 3,000 damage to enemy heroes, an additional 15% ability damage is dealt instantly upon ability cast. So you gain, essentially, another, it just deals more damage instantly. It just deals additional, so you get another small meteor on top of your big one if you put burden on it. So, what this does is it after dealing 3,000 damage to enemy heroes, because it's a damage over time in an AoE, people are just going to walk outside of it, and you're not going to get much for that quest. So, if you Void Tether and then Cosmic Rift, you'll get more of the damage, getting the quest faster, meaning you get that empowered state more, and you're a better player because of it, right? Booyah! Gameplay loops, baby. Void Tether! It's a simple projectile that slows an enemy hero, I don't know by how much, forget numbers, pretend it's all balanced, and deals damage over 2.5 seconds. 8-second cooldown. It's a projectile, slows somebody, deals damage for Gideon to land his abilities on that target, convert his kit, deal damage, and get out. Awesome. Void Breach. It's that other projectile that was given to him in Monolith. Gideon summons a massive meteor that rushes forward. It's a forward, dealing damage in a small radius. You have to land the ability. It is a projectile. It has to connect with somebody. So, and it was a bit of an issue to use. Like you had to get used to using Void Breach, and that's okay. If Void Tether is attached to an enemy hero, though, the meteor is slightly drawn to the enemy. It's not auto aim. It's not auto targeted. It's just slightly drawn in towards the hero. It helps. It helps a little bit. If you're familiar with physics, well, if the target is farther away, then there's more time for the projectile to be influenced by it, meaning that it's affected more by that slightly drawn into the enemy. If the enemy's super close, there isn't very much time to influence it, so there you go. What essentially I've done is I've made Void Tether an interesting integral part to his kit. I've made it part of his combo system. Void Tether into Cosmic Rift to convert all that instantaneous damage that is possible, that makes your Void Breach easier to land, along with some basics after that, and then you can get out. So it's an integral part instead of just this mundane skill that just slows and deals damage, which isn't all that exciting. Made it part of a combo within his kit. Now, that's his Void Breach. Deals good damage. Deals good damage that is slightly drawn to a tethered enemy. 12-second cooldown. His black hole. His black hole is where I've put his teleport. I don't know how... Yeah, guys, sorry, I am here. The guy to fix the dishwasher's here. I feel really dumb. It's a super simple fix. I just thought it was something else. So, great, but whatever. And I do have to run out and get some things for my wife at the hospital. So I'll just continue this, wait till he's gone, and then I'll come back and finish up and close it out. But continue watching this. Often people, please let me know what you think. It's drastic, but I think there's really good reasons for it. People would use a teleport to get into the ultimate, but I would say that you would always use their teleport, almost always. You use their teleport before a black hole, or you would use your teleport to escape. I've already explained why escaping via teleport is inherently broken on a hero that has such long range and such high damage, which is why that's been removed. So I also, and another reason to just remove the teleport altogether, is put it into his black hole if you always use it anyways. So I've taken an ability that is questionably broken and something that you did all the time anyways, and just incorporate it into a ability to make it work better, period. So if you don't have enough reasons to believe why teleport needs to go in this scenario, I don't know what else will convince you. I'm sorry. Black hole. Gideon teleports vertically, straight up, out of basic attack range. I don't know how far that is, 600 units, 500, 400, however far. You're outside of melee basic attack range. Melee basic attack, not ranged basic attack. Summoning a black hole that draws in and damages enemy units caught within a 700 unit radius, whatever it was, over 4 seconds. It's the same thing, except he teleports vertically outside of melee basic attack, not outside of range basic attack. However, enemies closer to the center are pulled more, just like before, and black hole creates a black sphere that blocks all vision through its surface. So if you are inside his black hole, you can look around and see inside his black hole. If you are outside his black hole, you cannot see inside the black hole. Just like a black hole actually works. I mean, if you want to take general relativity into account on the inside, well, that'd be crazy. But that's a little too far. So what this does is, if you're on the outside, you have to guess and try to remember where Gideon is inside his black hole to try to hit him. So it is a protective mechanism against Gideon. If you're on the inside, well, you can just look up and see there, hey, there's Gideon, and you can start shooting him, which is fair because you're caught in his ultimate. Gideon, we tried to. I think vision is the only thing that Gideon needs. If he's going to deal a crap ton of damage, if he's going to block vision and slow people and pull people in, if he's going to have a void tether and gain increased movement speed, he simply cannot have a shield reduce damage. I think that's fair. Not only does it fit the literal meaning of him having a black hole, like he creates a black hole, man. I think it makes sense. So, sorry that the video is a little bit longer, but I think I've given the reasoning for this rework very well. I've explained why his premise best suits Gideon. Not only lore-wise, but his entire kit is meant to deal damage and be a complete monster, so he's a burst high-damage mage. His passive needs to help him do that a little bit by giving him increased movement speed so he can get within range to do his kit better, and gank, because he is a good ganker. Plus, empower his damage, which is the main part of a damage dealer. With the ability penetration, his cosmic rift deals a little bit of damage to have good wave clear, but is empowered by his void tether, which is a skill shot and a little bit of utility. Void breach, another damage ability, but that's medium range, but also is empowered by void tether, which is another skill shot on top of his skill shot. Black hole, which helps him in doing what you always did with his teleport anyways. Yeah. There he goes. You're gonna love it or hate it. I would love playing Gideon like this, because if you can deal a ton of damage, then you have to be careful with your positioning. And you know what? You don't have your teleport? Fine by me if you can do a ton of damage. Please like the video, like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Probably gonna dislike it. Let's be honest. And there you go. I don't know, guys. It just makes too much sense to me. It just makes too much sense to me. So, here, watch another one while I go out. Here's Revenant. He's just like, it's a pretty big rework, so let me know what you think. My previous video on Phase was also a very controversial hero when he first released. Lock-on abilities, auto-targeting abilities, made it really tough to rework him here in my idea for Paragon 2. But I think we actually came up with a really good ability carry idea. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a hero rework idea. I am Sylphin. So, a few things right off the bat. One, this in no way represents what Unleashed Games is going to do in any way. This is just my idea, and yeah, I'm going to be sending it off to, you know, to the design team, but it's just my idea. It does not represent what Unleashed Games is going to do in any way. 2, hero passives are coming back. Something that provides a gameplay loop or accentuates their gameplay niche or design theme. They're coming back, so we have to think of something that really accentuates what Revenant is. 3, I like the idea of quest / Paragon mechanics where if you do something, if you use an ability that usually defines the hero the most or is the biggest part of their gameplay, well, if you do that well, like you're supposed to, or what, in a way that accentuates why you picked them in the first place, then it becomes empowered, and you are more able to do what you picked that hero to do. Hopefully that makes sense. And 4, I think that hero design is really, it has to be based on the hero's gameplay niche and theme and reason. There has to be a reason for you to pick a hero in the draft lobby, and that has to be accentuated and brought out in their kits. So that is what we're doing here in this video, and hopefully you guys enjoy my idea for Revenant. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are making him an ability carry. An ability carry. His abilities deal the most of his damage, and he can use them fairly frequently. He's now an ability damage carry with a basic attack that is still actually important. It's still important as all carries. I mean, some carries can definitely be designed to basically not even rely on their basic attack, I suppose. But I chose anyways, to still make his basic attack a part of it, as it was a really cool revolver theme where he reloads and stuff. So he has a really cool revolver theme, four rounds in his pistol sort of theme. So I chose to still make it kind of relevant on his basic attack, but not in the way you might be thinking. So listen to this. Passive. Revenant's abilities cost no mana, just cooldowns. And he has no mana. Instead, Revenant builds hatred whenever he deals damage, or perhaps taking damage, charging up his Reckoning, his ultimate. He gains more hatred when attacking enemy heroes. Hatred is lost upon death, maximum 100 hatred. I forgot to go over his gameplay niche and theme, but you'll see that from that, he's very ultimate-based, which makes him reliant on his ultimate, which, if you guys remember, brings somebody into the Nether Realm, making them a duel. You duel somebody else. He's a duelist. So, his niche and theme is a single target duelist ability damage carry. He is great single target damage with his abilities now, and he duels somebody. He can pull them into his own realm and duel them out, or just duel somebody else outside of it. I mean, it doesn't... Great duelist. And he's kind of meant to be, he's still a carry, but a little bit more balanced in the early game, a little bit more of a bully. But numbers-wise, that can all be tweaked in there. So his passive accentuates his ultimate. You know, if you, the more successful you are, the more able you are, the more you're able to pull people into that realm that you are successful at, you know, and that just accentuates his nature. You really just need to pull targets away. If they have a great team fight comp, but you're like, nope, I gotta pull that Decker out of it. I can't let her do her thing. I can't let that Muriel do her thing. I can't let whatever. You can pull them out and really accentuate that. The no mana aspect makes it a great opportunity. Hey, they picked a Bellica. I don't have mana. I'm a great counter to her. And that sort of thing, those sort of things is what was missing from Paragon. There was no deeply suited counters like that. There was nothing really like that, and that is what was missing from Paragon. And I think that is a-okay to have in a game like this. So that is his passive. Absolutely phenomenal. Obliterate. It's the same thing. Revenant unleashes 10 ethereal missiles and a wide cone in front of him, hitting random targets for ability damage. 12-second cooldown. Movement speed is reduced by 50% during Obliterate, maybe more, so he can use it while walking, basically. In a duel, in a gun duel, you're never gonna stand still. Why would you stand still in a gun duel? It makes no sense from that, and gameplay-wise, I think that it can be balanced to make that work. Whether that's 40% movement speed, 30, at least you're still moving a little bit. Whatever that is, you're still moving, barfing out Obliterate projectiles. Fantastic. Scar. This is where he really shines. Scar. Listen to this. Scar the target enemy for 4 seconds, slowing their movement speed for 2 seconds. It's just a slow. Flat up slow. Not on basic attack, just on slow. Slow on scarring a target. Each successful basic attack on the target builds Obliterate stacks, which empower 1 Obliterate projectile per stack on the target by 8, 12, 16, 20% additional damage within 4 seconds. 10-second cooldown. Essentially, when you scar somebody, you slow them by 20%. Then, when you pummel them with your basic attack, you are building up stacks on that target. Those stacks increase the damage of any Obliterate projectiles on that target. So you scar into an Obliterate and you get empowered damage. Booyah, baby. After triggering 28 Obliterate stacks, so after putting the stacks on somebody and utilizing those stacks on Obliterate projectiles that you put on that target with those stacks, so you got to do Revenant things. Gain 2 Obliterate stacks per successful basic attack. So when you scar somebody after completing the quest, now you're gaining 2 Obliterate projectiles, Obliterate stacks for even more bonus damage on even more Obliterate stacks, or Obliterate projectiles. Pretty juicy. Hellfire rounds. I've changed this. Revenant still has only 4 projectiles in his... 4 rounds. It is pistol, and he still has to reload and everything like that, but his 4th round doesn't deal increased damage. That has been removed. Active. It's an active ability. Revenant reloads his pistol with Hellfire rounds, unleashing 1 Obliterate projectile per basic attack for the next clip. You essentially just load your round with 4... You load your pistol with 4 Obliterate projectiles. 10-second cooldown. So, it's essentially, in the late game, you scar somebody, load Hellfire rounds, proc the exact same... Proc the Obliterate stacks that you're getting from Scar from your basic attacks with the Hellfire rounds, with the Obliterate projectiles from your Hellfire rounds on your basic attacks, but because you're building 2 of them, after you're done your 4, you'll have your 4 rounds. You'll have 4 additional stacks from your Scar that you can then proc from your Obliterate. Woo! You can see there's this insane gameplay loop that you can pull from by loading your Hellfire rounds before your Scar, or saving your Hellfire rounds for after your Scar, or after your Obliterate. There's so many potential for this gameplay loop, baby. It's all about that gameplay loop. There you go. There's your Hellfire rounds. Rework that a little bit. Reckoning, his ultimate, it's the same thing. Revenant pulls himself to and his target into the Nether Realm for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds. Killing his opponent inside the Nether Realm grants bonus gold and 25 hatred. Basically, you just reduce the hatred cost of the hatred cost of that ultimate to 50 instead of 75. Both him and the enemy are invulnerable to all effects from the outside realm. That was the biggest problem. If it's a duel, why are we letting other heroes, your allies, deal damage and crowd control effects? Well, I think it was only crowd control effects on the target. No, it's a straight up duel. If you reckoning a Shinbi and she just runs away, you're bad. Like, that's perfectly allowable in a duel. Your team should not help you in containing that Shinbi. I don't think so. There's no stun, there's no micro stun or root, sorry, on the reckoning anymore. It's just a reckoning. That is it. Maybe you Scar and then reckoning somebody to get that slow, but it's up to you. It's a duel. It's a true duel, so that you don't get, so you don't get extra value from your team helping you out in a duel. That's not a duel anymore, right? There you go. Cost 75 hatred. That is my rework for Revenant, guys. It was a lot of fun to come up with this. Make his really unique basic attack still relevant for his abilities because of this really cool, he doesn't go from attack speed and he just fires 4 rounds and he reloads. Really, really cool. What do you guys think? I think one of the better reworks for Revenant, or for any of the heroes I've done. It would be so much fun. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what you guys think about this Revenant rework idea. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Pretty sick, eh? Pretty sick, I would say. Scar somebody. Scar somebody. Load your Hellfire rounds. Boof, 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 boof. Just hammer into them with these obliteration projectiles going in them. Boom, boom. Just destroy them. Yes, I am Grizz. I'm back. That was just a video. That was a video. But I have a treat for you. I have a treat for you guys. Sylphin Mix. Sylphin Mix by our lead sound engineer. Sylphin Mix of 30 minutes of exclusive Unleashed Games Paragon 2 content. Just sent it to me. You guys will hear it first here. Well, I shouldn't say maybe exclusive. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, I'm checking. Okay. It's Unleashed Games music. Okay. Okay. It's an this is all stuff for an Unleashed Games album. Pardon me. Pardon me. It's it's all stuff for an Unleashed Games album. Here, I'll rename it. Okay. There we go. Unleashed Games album music. Some of it.
To the juvenile voice, and if all goes well, we go inside a union of the blind leading the blind. A feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars. Oh, a caption in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are.
Yeah,
oh,
there's music.
A feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars. Oh, a caption in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are. Oh, a feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars. Oh, a caption in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are. Oh, a feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars. Oh, a caption in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are. Oh, a feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars. Oh, a caption in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are. Oh, we could make the choice to give in to the juvenile voice, and if all goes well, we go inside a union of the blind leading the blind. Take a chance. Live your life for just one night. No looking back. 'Cause tonight will make you right. And I can't tell you, you have to see. Let me show you, I'll set you free. A world unknown, pure ecstasy. No looking back, just come with me. you'll change your life. Nothing won't be lost if you dive so deep into my heart. Nothing won't be lost if
It's great, isn't it, Dennis? Yeah. Our sound guy is unbelievable. He's unbelievable. As a music guy myself, like, it's just
One day we'll get lost between our hearts. One day we'll get lost, feel it all. One day we'll get lost between our hearts. One day we'll get lost, feel it all. Across the sidewalk, the sidewalk, the sidewalk. Oh, that's your little life, life.
God, it's so good.
Think of me, my heart will feel it, will feel it, will feel it. Yeah, I hope I still believe it. One day we'll get lost between our hearts.
Sort of a rave party.
One day we'll get lost, feel it all.
Dennis, he knows. He knows.
One day we'll get lost between our hearts. One day we'll get lost, feel it all.
Back. I'm gonna go see if the dishwasher guy is done.
Maybe I could show you something you ain't never tried. We won't regret, we won't forget tonight. Play you're my play tonight. Play
into the juvenescent voice. And if all goes well, we go inside a union of the blind leading the blind. A feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars. Oh, a caption in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are. Oh, a feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars.
All right, Jack. All right, guys.
Captured in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are. Oh, a feeling of elation, a floating sensation, a forming of stars.
All right.
A captured in a lifetime, a moment of timeline is all that we are.
I gotta go. Just pick up some things for the wife, who is in hospital right now. It's not that serious, everything, guys. Don't worry. So. Yeah. Raptors are intended as a mid-game map objective for players to fight for after the early laning phase. Spawns. First spawn occurs around When can you buy it? Wait out. Wait out for an answer to that question. Will I be back today? Yes. So I'll be back in probably an hour or so. So, yeah. Raptors offer players rewards that empower them and their team to be more successful in the mid-game than their enemies. Raptors should be allowed to release significant team advantage in the mid-game, requiring about 4 team members, tank support 2 DPS, along with an amount of time that puts that team in a potentially vulnerable state. Raptors should be a moderate team objective in the late game, requiring about 2 to 3 team members, tank, cruiser, and DPS. What's bounty? Just a reward for killing them. That's about it. Alright. I gotta go. Thank you guys very much for watching, for listening to tease of some Unleashed Games album music. I will be back in, I don't know, an hour maybe? Hour and a half. We'll see. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back later. See you soon. Actually, hold on. Should we host somebody? Do we host somebody? Pookie. Whoa, there's not that many people on. Tio Mikey. Do we do Mikey? Let's do Mikey. Yeah. Let's do Mikey. There we go. All right. Let's do Mikey. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, we always stay optimistic, positive. See you guys later.
Yo, Sylphin, I don't have my notifications on, but thank you very much for the host, man. I appreciate it, dude. It's late for you. I rarely stream it. See you stream it this time. Liking Royale? Yeah, I really like Royale. I've actually been streaming a lot of this time. Lately.